New rules for fighters on both sides of the dividing line, the former Iron Curtain. Today at the Brandenburg Gate, once a symbol of a divided Germany, entrepreneurs have set up shop. Out of trunks come the souvenirs left in the slow retreat of the Soviet army. Here, in East Berlin, the relics of communism are yours, if the price is right. But travel north, and there remain pockets where the old ways still exist. In the tiny village of Lindau, for instance, the past remains on display. Here at the Lindau Sports School, a principal training center in the former East Germany, the clock is frozen for now. At the world-class diving pool, you will still find physically gifted 11-year-olds and a fussy, full-time coach to guide these Olympians of tomorrow. On the other side of the complex, amid the thwacking of gloves, is the latest and last generation of boxers produced by the old East German sports machine.
In East Germany, the assumption was that for every 100 athletes, a single Olympic athlete would emerge. So what we had was a high-performance pyramid.
This climb up the pyramid began early in special sports grade schools.
I had my first match as a 10-year-old and went to a sports school when I was 14. At the beginning it was very difficult for me because I was still very young and I was yanked out of my parents' house.
In these early days of reunification, Germany's best boxers such as Rudolf and Mai are former East Germans, trained from the crib, and the East German devotion to hard work and science is still in evidence. In a side room, a computer is used to test reaction time and hand speed. Yes, the old methods remain, but the motivation has changed, and government support is gone.
The economically strong Germany has no need to present itself as a sports giant. Now the scouting for talent doesn't exist. If you want to play a sport, you do. If you don't want to play a sport, you don't. Now when an athlete's successful, he's successful for himself.
They go on winning, these former East Germans, but their voices speak wistfully of what once was, of the time when a tiny nation tried to rule the sports world. And now we will see one of the representatives of that formerly tiny nation, now from unified Germany, Torsten Mai, surprise world champion at 178 pounds when he defeated tonight's opponent, Andrey Kurniavka of Russia. That took place in Sydney, Australia in November. Kurniavka was the favorite to win the 178-pound weight class, but Torsten Mai, a relatively late-blooming product of the East German sports machine, used his reaching southpaw style, his superior height, to fend off Kurniavka for the championship by a final score of 27-14. Mai, in the center there, was one of the three fighters you heard from on our camera's visit to the Lindau Training Center. And now we will take a look at the particulars on Andrey Kurniavka. He is from Frunze in Kyrgyzstan. Regarded as being more athletic than most Soviet fighters, or former Soviet fighters, Kurniavka won the world championship in 1989 at 165 pounds, defeating Angel Espinosa of Cuba, who at that time regarded as the #1 amateur boxer in the world. Kurniavka's victory over Espinosa sent him on an upward climb that brought him to the World Championships this year as the favorite to win at 178 pounds. There's a good look at him. He was the surprise loser to Torsten Mai. There are the particulars: 89 world champ at 165 pounds, silver medalist in 1991 at the new weight class of 178 pounds. New for him, that is. Meanwhile, there's a good look at Torsten Mai, the 22-year-old southpaw defender, and the 1991 World Championships visit, where he came away with the gold medal, was the very first major international competition for Mai. Tail of the tape, And here you will see the height advantage for Torsten Mai. He is 6 feet 4 inches tall, as opposed to the 6 feet even for Andrey Kurniavka. And now let's go to ring announcer Mark Biro for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your second contest of the evening, scheduled for 5 two-minute rounds in the 178-pound light heavyweight class. Judges at ringside: David Leopold of Czechoslovakia, Hinet Wang-Sing Viset of Thailand, Jerry Dusenberry of the USA, Teddy Bonab of Tunisia, and Osvaldo Bisbal of Argentina. Your referee for this event from La República de Mexico, Agustín Zaragoza. Introducing in the red corner from the Commonwealth of Independent States, Andrey Kurniavka. His opponent in the blue corner from the Republic of Germany, the 1991 World 178-pound champion, Torsten Mai. 5 two-minute rounds.
Incidentally, in the 178-pound class in the United States, at the recent United States Championships, which were held the last week of February, John Ruiz was ranked 6th in the world and had advanced to the quarterfinals at the World Championships, lost to Montel Griffin in the semifinals. Griffin went on to win the tournament. Griffin is a 21-year-old from Chicago who's only 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he is the inside track favorite heading into the American Olympic trials, which will take place in June. Now we wait for round 1 between Mai and Kurniavka. And we wonder what the delay is about. And we are told that they may be having computer problems. Had to happen sooner or later. Right, guys?
Get the pencils out.
No, it had to happen sooner, Jim, not later.
Well, it happened soon enough. Second bout of the evening. Kurniavka in the red singlet, Mai in the blue. Gets inside and pounds away. Looks like he's bent on revenge after that loss in Sydney. He's much more aggressive here, Lou, than was the case down under.
My, oh my.
Let's see if Mai's inexperience leaves him without an answer now to Kurniavka's aggression. Sydney, Mai was able to hold that right hand out there in posing position, and Kurniavka never really effectively got inside it. And there's the straight left from Mai, a scoring blow, at least from our vantage point. Another straight left, solid right on the face of Kurniavka. Kurniavka scoring to the body, if the judge is given credit. Ooh, Mai is deceptively quick, Lou, for somebody so big.
He is. He's, you know, a kid like him can go into a heavyweight, and I like the length of his arms, the way he's putting that right jab out there. He knows how to use that jab to get him on the inside. You'll see. He'll start touching him. Okay, he touches him and lets that left hand go.
There's another solid left hand, and the referee steps in immediately for the standing 8. It was such a heavy blow that the referee judged the standing 8 to be immediately necessary. Many in the crowd don't agree. Kurniavka steps forward with a right hand lead to try to redress the damage.
Tim, you said this was a return bout?
Yep.
This is a grudge match.
You can see it.
You know, the Russian bears a slight resemblance from the side in the profile to Jack Dempsey. Not in the ring. Just when he's sitting down on it. Just when he's sitting down on the stool.
Ой, хорошо. Андрюш. Передней рукой надо, без передней. Значит, просто раз-два начинай. Раз-два. И не откидывайся. Не можешь. Пропустил два раза, когда откинулся опять.
Don't go back. Don't go
И
back.
снизу вовнутрь бей. Не по локтям, а
Go from under.
вовнутрь.
Go inside.
Oh, look at the scores, guys.
Go straight to the belly.
4-1.
What they're saying there is that the Russian landed only one punch in that round, or that the five officials, only 3 of them could agree on any one punch.
You know, amazingly enough, they did most of their punching in the center of the ring. I can't figure out why the judges couldn't pick it up.
That's why I said that this system was devised by Dr. Strangeglove.
They play Nintendo machines too?
Well, whatever you see here, don't assume for a second that the boxers are scoring, according to the new scoring system. Only 5 landed punches by the consensus of 3 judges, 3 out of 5, during round number 1. Torsten Mai with the 4-1 lead after round number 1. Interesting, through much of round 1, Kurniavka was clearly the aggressor. One thing about Mai, as with most East German trained boxers, he throws straight punches and straight punches only. They are easier for the judges to see and score.
He's taken the play away now. He's backing up the Russian. He's made him pay for his bull-like charges with good counterpunching and that jab.
He's trying to use that jab not to get himself in there, right?
Kurniavka throwing the uppercut in the clinches, kind of thing that scores in American professional boxing, but probably not here. Right hand leads for Kurniavka were effective in round number 1, or at least they appeared that way to us, although they did not wind up on the scorecard. Round 2 comes to a close. Remember, these are 2-minute, not 3-minute rounds.
Второй получше. Андрей,
You have to think.
We mentioned the dismantling of the Eastern European sports machines. For more on that and its effect on boxing, let's go briefly to Brian Burwell.
When communism collapsed in Eastern Europe and with it the state-supported sports machines, top amateur athletes suddenly found themselves without a safety net. But for some ex-communist boxers, there was an alternative. They joined a 17 boxing league in Germany. In addition to Western boxers, there were Poles, Bulgarians, and former Soviet athletes. Both boxers in tonight's light heavyweight bout are in this so-called Bundesliga. Germany's Torsten Mai and Andrey Kurniavka of the Commonwealth of Independent States. Mai fights for Boxring Brandenburg and Kurniavka for Sports Ring Schwerin. Now, in addition to some of the money they receive, which is $20,000. Okay. Well, Jim, I'm going to throw it back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Brian. They both box in the league. Incidentally, they have not yet met in that 20-team or so semi-pro league in Germany. Though somewhere down the road we expect they will, because they do fight in the same weight class. Round 3, Torsten Mai still the leader against Andrey Kurniavka of the Commonwealth of Independent States.
In one fight last night, an American official scored about 85 punches landing in a fight. An Argentine official scored about 30 punches landing in that fight. That's why I say that much of the bias that's gone on in Olympic judging, Jim, has been cultural bias. A different understanding of what comprises a fight, what comprises a good punch. Much as beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
The suggestion here, Lou, is that Americans just have a greater appreciation for body punch.
Body punch, and that's right. That goes back to the... I don't think the whole 5 guys agree on body punching or whether they'll get points for body punching, which they should. They've initiated that this year.
It must be frustrating for Kurniavka to have gotten inside a few times, to have seemingly scored with right-hand leads. And if he knows anything at all about the official accepted score to this point in the bout, he knows that it has availed him practically nothing at all. In order for a blow to be a scoring blow in amateur boxing, it must be with the white part of the glove on the front or side of the body, with the weight of the shoulder or the body behind it. That's what the judges are looking for. And only when there's a consensus of 3 of them within 1 second of one another does a blow count in the accepted score. End of round 3, and Kurniavka begins to look a little weary.
I think they're both.
Incidentally, our interpreters in the corner for the Russian boxer, Kurniavka, it's Olga Klempner, and Paul Unahan is our interpreter in the German corner.
Go ahead, you don't have to stay back. You've got to overtake him, you've got to overtake him. Keep going after him, keep going after him, don't hang back. Are you listening to me? What's the matter with you? You've got to stay concentrated. All right? You understand what I'm saying? All right, so stay.
You know, here's something I'm not clear on, guys. We know the scores of what's happening in this fight, and theoretically, if they knew, they would adapt to that score. Do they know what the scores are?
I don't think so, and I don't think they care at this point. What they're trying to do is get their fighters to fight the opponent. That's what they're trying to get them to do. But even taking a look at the scoring right now, Larry, I mean, I've seen a lot of blows landed. I don't know where the scoring is coming in from. It's so low.
It's a tennis score right now, folks. 6-3 after the first set.
I can't believe that.
With Mai in command.
And these guys are throwing a lot of punches.
Kurniavka is getting credit for an average of 1 punch per round.
Well, somebody better watch the referee then, because somebody's getting hit.
I think ultimately scores like this have to damage the spectator appeal of amateur boxing too. I mean, if you're going to convince spectators that a boxer has landed only 3 solid blows in 3 rounds, I'm not sure why they would want to come and see the fight.
You think you were watching a dull fight, and this is an exciting fight.
It has been a pretty active fight. Fourth round action. Torsten Mai of Germany, the reigning world. Andrey Kurniavka, the world silver medalist. These are regarded as the 2 favorites to battle it out for at 178 pounds in Barcelona. If that happens, it would be their 3rd meeting in less than a year. So far, Mai appears to have victory in 2 matches with Kurniavka. Now let's go back to the corner of the fighter from Kyrgyzstan, Andrey Kurniavka, with Olga Klempner interpreting.
Get your things together. Get your thoughts together. 3. You stand up. Don't fall. Go forward, and you have to feel it. Then stay aside, then go forward.
Okay, a little more force in the punches. Okay, breathe now, easy. Okay, if you're not getting anything done inside, then go outside. Stay outside.
Well, a goose egg for Kurniavka in round number 3.
I can't believe it.
Round 4, I should say.
You know, Mai does appear to be the winner, but with scoring like this, I can't wait for the riots in Barcelona.
You're gonna wear a helmet.
It will be interesting to see how the system holds up at the Olympics.
Look at those 3-punch combinations. I'm gonna see if they score.
Well, that's another one of the of the system. Guy lands 3 punches in rapid-fire succession in a combination. Is the judge so hard on scoring 1 blow at a time that he simply misses the second? And if he presses the button 3 straight times, then 2 other judges must press the button 3 straight times at virtually for all 3 blows to be scored on the computer. We are accompanied at ringside by United States Stan Hamilton, who wants to offer a comment right now to our discussion of the scoring system. Stan?
Yeah, we just came back from Barcelona for a trip, 2 sessions a day with the officials that will be refereeing and judging at the Olympic Games. Quite a tiring thing. And I've seen some better scores at the Olympic Games, and you've seen gentlemen have not had the chance to use the scoring machine.
The scoring system and its operation and everybody involved with it right now is a work in progress.
That's true, and I think part of it getting in that 1 second window that we use. If you saw the printout, I think you'd see a different story.
Well, we're going to see at the end of the bout the combined scores for each of the 5 judges, so we'll see how many more blows each individual saw than were scored as a consensus as the accepted score. And we'll take a look at how our CompuBox scorers scoring 1 fighter apiece compared to 5 rounds come to a close. Torsten Mai of Germany, an apparent winner over Andrey Kurniavka of and the Commonwealth of Independent States. And we will await now. Torsten Mai has really blossomed within there. He's skillful enough and sophisticated enough in there, Lou, that it's hard to imagine this guy came completely out of nowhere just in the past year or so. Only 1 previous international competition, and that was the World Championships.
Yes, and that's what happens in an Olympic year, and why now as they move to the Olympics, we're going to see youngsters suddenly blossom as they focus more on Barcelona.
Yeah, I think they're going to start bringing out their prospects more and more right into focus right now. He is a good prospect. He may go all the way. I mean, if this is the 2 toughest guys out there, it looks like he may win the gold.
The inside story from the German is that Torsten became a great fighter the moment he left him.
There are a few of those stories around.
How's that? Is my mouthpiece okay now?
All right, let's go to ring announcer Mark Biro now for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 5 judges at ringside have computed a 55 decision for the blue corner, Torsten Mai.
Crowd doesn't like it, and there is the one-sided 15-5 decision for Torsten Mai. And now, gentlemen, let's have some fun and take a look at the full-page graphic, which will show us combined scores for each individual judge. Look at that. The Argentine judge saw only 7 landed blows in the fight. No judge saw more than 17 landed blows for Kurniavka. No judge saw more than 26 for Mai. Our score for CompuBox saw a total of 34 for Mai, not that far out of range, and 27 for Kurniavka. So there's some discrepancy, perhaps not as great as we might have suspected, and you have to deduce from this that Torsten Mai is a heck of a defensive fighter who limits his opponent's opportunities to score. Well, as we mentioned, there were 6 bouts last night, in 2 of which American